Hi.
So my name is Munyoki, a student at the Daystar University doing nursing. This is my 4th year. So P2 is an emergency pill made of progesterone in a very high amount. If you compare it to the normal pills, the family planning pills, it's over 10 times of whatever it's used in family planning. So it's meant for emergencies, and that's why it's an emergency pill. For example, if you had a rape case, and yeah, that really happened, so you can use it as an emergency, that kind of emergency. But if used in a normal circumstances, at least once per year. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we clap for him? Are we informed from that? Once I get down this stage, if you have not heard anything, please remember that. It's not tic-tac to eat every day. It's because once you use it like today, it has already messed with your cycle. Okay? It's important that even you who has a girlfriend to be aware that this thing is not supposed to be swallowed every now and then. She mentioned barrier methods. Those ones you can use. And please walk proudly if you're being safe. Walk proudly if you're being protected. Hello? I know this is a Christian university, but hizi vitu lazima zijulikane. So I'll just run through, I'll just run through a few things and then we're done. So some of the long-term risks of abortion. Why do people go and get abortions? Because they are not ready for the pregnancy. Sindio? Now those abortions that are not legal. Because there's legal ones and there's the illegal type. True or false? So the illegal one, why are people getting it? Because they're not ready. Sindio? Why should we go through this really heavy procedure and we can prevent it? Yeah? The only times when abortions are acceptable is if the baby in the womb will not be able to survive outside the uterus when they're born. If there's any factors that will harm this child, even by being in your womb, then an abortion can be done. An abortion is termination of a pregnancy or a fetus before it is even viable to survive outside. In this outside life, they'll not even be able to breathe this air of ours. So that one, it is allowed, because a doctor will certify that that is okay. It has to be done. If it is causing any risks to the mother, risks like if a mom has hypertension, uncontrolled hypertension, sometimes it might lead to us causing, getting to do the abortion so that the mother is able to survive. Now, some long-term risks of abortion. Who knows any? We've mentioned here PTSD. Yes?
One of the long-term effects of abortion is it can cause internal scarring in the reproductive system. And if it's a bad day for you, you might actually end up being infertile for the rest of your life.
Yes. Also, another thing, anyone else? Anyone else? She has explained it so well. Another thing, sometimes with abortion, we have to open the cervix. The cervix is the one that protects the baby from coming out. Now, sometimes because it has to be manually opened, we are making it weak and loose. Then it means much later, when you're ready now to have babies, those babies will not stay in the womb. And I'm not saying that every woman who's going through miscarriages, when they are ready, that it is because of that. Hello? These people who have gone through this, a good percentage of them tend to struggle to hold pregnancies till term. There's a risk of death. Yeah? In the main hospitals, you'll realize that there are moms who are coming in with retained products of conception. Retained products of conception, this means there was a baby there, and then a part of this whole process of the baby being in the womb is removed. and then a bit remains. This means we're exposing you to infections, and I'm not telling you this so that I can scare you. It's for information. I am in a field where information is power, and I really believe that. Sometimes you can have perforation of the uterus during the procedure. Some people will even become habitual aborters. Hello? Niangalieni, wave at me, please. Hata kama umenisimama, unaweza na kuignore. Hii ni important.
All right, all right.
Habitual aborters. You find yourself, now I messed up this time. Shoo, you already know where to go. The next time, more than 5 times, that's a habitual aborter. But this means when that time comes, even a pregnancy cannot be held there because she has mentioned what? Scarring on the uterus. Sindio? Then we have now the PTSD, where the mom can have flashbacks. Yeah? The mom is having anxiety. Or the lady, because that is a mom already. Let me call her a mom. Whether we want to hide it or not, it's a mom. Yeah? And sometimes you find there's anxiety there. And when they think about it, sometimes they even have nightly dreams, nightmares, thinking about these things. Yeah? And I'm not saying that if you have already done it, there's no chance of now living a normal life. We said there's therapy. Sindio? Yeah. And we will not shame you for it. But these are some of the risks so that we don't try it again. Let's use contraception to prevent these things and also and just protect ourselves. Then there's increased risks for pelvic inflammatory diseases. What does this mean? Apart from the scarring, infections are going to happen there. You find somebody's having excessive bleeding when they're having their periods. People are having discomfort even when walking. Such things, excessive fevers, funny-looking discharges. There's so much to pelvic inflammatory diseases, okay? And this is one of the risks. So, tukue safe. Hello? If we can avoid some of these things, to avoid. And we've also mentioned the preterm deliveries. Sometimes the babies are not able to stay in the womb. Now, I'd like to move spontaneously to pornography and masturbation. Do we have a question about these? Any questions? All right. Mental health and pornography and masturbation, and this is mostly, I'm leaning mostly on the male child, on the men. Because imagine you're being rejected by all the pretty girls you think are pretty. Then you go hide in that room. And then these things are very easily accessible. See, they're accessible. And they're cheap, if at all you're paying for them. So you have access to this thing, you hide in your room. All the pretty girls are not taking you. So socially, you're struggling. You go and, you do what? You sort yourself in your room. You do it once, it works. You do it twice, it works. Then with time, it becomes a habit. You become a habitual masturbator. Hello? I'm not hating on that. These are things that you really need to get assistance for it. Because at the end of the day, there's no shame in trying to get help. Now, sometimes people would go for this because of stress reduction. They're trying to cope with stress. They're trying to suppress their emotions. They have really wild imaginations and really good fantasies, And these things are easier to find. And they're easier than human interactions because people are also becoming very mean. Sindio? So you find somebody is hiding behind there, just hiding and acting like everything is okay, but they're struggling to even get a human interaction. Now, I'd like to just jump onto the long-term effects. Oh, another reason why people watch porn in this generation, I hear a lot, is that they want to know the skills. Anataka kupata skills. True. Sindio? And this is where people are learning how to have sex. Is it the right avenue to learn? Or we should have proper conversations about these things with professionals so that we're able to learn and know what to do. Some risks. There's decreased concentration. You find this particular person is consistently thinking about masturbation and pornography, and it affects your daily life. And that is where mental health comes in. Because you won't go around your normal days. Utakuwa unakaa kwa class, a few minutes, you're rushing somewhere. Your phone is there, you have access, you're doing things, yeah? But so that we can avoid that, let's try and look for help. Your daily schedule is usually interrupted. There's decreased sexual sensitivity. So being with an actual female will not be as satisfactory as it is to just do it yourself, or a male. Sometimes we get inflammations for these people. They come to hospital, I have a disease, something is happening, and you know these things, people shy off from them. So you don't want many people to know you're going to hospital for this particular thing. And when you get there, you realize you're hiding, and it's because of this habit of being masturbating and all that. Then, in the long run, because you're doing this for yourself a whole lot of times, we tend to have low sperm count. So when you're ready to start a family, we have very little to help us start a family. Sindio? And then that's where our African society comes in and tells us it's always the woman. So let's also do what? Let's look for help with this. And there's no shame in looking for help. Now, there's this thing about a rotten generation. It was said at first. Did you hear that one? Are we a rotten generation, or it's an aware generation that is more in tune with their emotions and their reactions? Is it true? You're more in tune and you're courageous enough to say you don't like something. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, so I am Kandi Mwai. Thank you so much for the short time. It is short. You know, this topic is...
Definitely.
it's
very
yes.
long topic. True.
So what I do, I am a nurse. I am a childbirth educator. And I enjoy receiving babies in the family setup. Hello? I enjoy receiving babies on this other end where you are ready and you're not stressed. How I come in with the mental health with my profession is that once a mom has delivered her baby and is at home, we have things like postpartum depression. We have things like postpartum blues. These things have to be acknowledged, because I had another case where a mom was telling her partner that, I think this is depression, I've Googled it, and the partner is like, yowe, na yo depression yako, bebana nayo urudishe pale ulitoa, juu umejiekelea. Okay? So these things are affecting people, and it is good to acknowledge that they are there, and you can get assistance for them. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Kandi. Let's appreciate Kandi as we invite Anita on stage to come and take us through the next couple of very quick presentations. Just very few minutes. I think it's just about 5 minutes per speaker, so we should be able to move very fast. Anita?
Thank you so much, Ms. Kendi. You reminded us of the home science we learned, millennials. No, Gen Z do not understand. Guys, please don't mind. We are only having 3 more speakers to go before we invite our keynote speaker and our patron, and lunch will be served. Sawa? Tuchangamke tu kidogo tu. So please, the next speakers, dakika 5 minutes each.